Welcome to my video on culture media. In nature, as well as in clinical specimens, microorganisms exist in mixed populations. So if you want to study about a particular microorganism or you want to study about the clinical importance of a particular organism, you have to cultivate it under the laboratory conditions in pure cultures. So in order to cultivate the organism under laboratory conditions, you need the culture media. In this video, we will be discussing about culture media, also about the most common culture media used in microbiology like the solid media and liquid media. We will also see the importance of agar in the preparation of solid media. So let's move to the presentation. So, a suitable culture media makes the cultivation of microorganisms possible in a laboratory. A culture media should contain all the necessary nutrients required for the growth and multiplication of microorganisms. In general, all microorganisms require a source of energy, micronutrients, macronutrients, etc. for their growth. However, the precise composition of the media will depend upon the type of organism being cultivated, as the microbes vary considerably in their nutritional requirements. So, knowledge of the normal habitat of a particular organism is useful in the selection of the media, as their natural habitat reflects their nutritional requirements. In order to support the growth of microorganisms in culture media, physical factors also like optimum temperature, pH, etc. have to be maintained. A culture media can be used to grow the microorganism, transport the microorganism, or to store the microorganisms for future use. So we use the culture media to cultivate the microorganisms under laboratory conditions. Now coming to the classification of culture media. The culture media is classified on the basis of several parameters. They can be classified on the basis of physical nature, the chemical constituents present in it, based on their function, and based on their oxygen use. So, based on the physical nature or based on the appearance of the media is divided into three types, that is, liquid media, solid media, and semi solid media. It is very simple. The liquid media is liquid in its consistency, the solid media is solid in its appearance, and the semi solid media is having a consistency between the liquid media or the solid media, a jelly like consistency. Based on the chemical constituents used in the preparation of the media, they are divided into simple media, complex media, defined media, and the semi-defined media. Then based on the function of the media, the media is divided into supportive media and the special media. Supportive media is otherwise known as the general purpose media. It is the media like the nutrient agar or the nutrient broth, which are widely used to cultivate most of the microorganisms, because it will be containing the nutrients that is necessary for growth of almost all type of microorganisms. Whereas the special media is used to meet the special requirements of the organism, or it is used for special purposes, and based on the purpose they are divided into enriched media, enrichment media, selective media, differential media, indicator media, transport media, sugar media, etc. We will see about it in other session. And based on the oxygen use, the media is divided into aerobic media and anaerobic media. We know that the microorganisms that require oxygen for their growth are known as the aerobic organisms. The other ones are known as the anaerobic organisms. They do not require oxygen for their growth. So if you are cultivating the aerobic organisms, you have to make use of the aerobic media, and if you are cultivating the anaerobic organism, you have to make use of the anaerobic media. That's all about the classification of culture media. So in this class, we will be discussing only about the types of media classified on the basis of their appearance, physical appearance or consistency. So we said based on the physical appearance, the media is divided into liquid media, solid media and semi-solid media. So let us see what the liquid media is. So liquid media is usually liquid in its consistency. Louis Pasteur was the first person to make use of liquid media to cultivate the microorganisms. He actually used urine and meat broth as the liquid media. Usually, we know that when we all inoculate particular organisms in the culture media or in the suitable media, it will produce clone of cells. Clone of cells means cells originating from a single parental cell. So on solid media, you can see the discrete colonies with specific colony morphology, which is very useful in the identification of microorganisms. But in the case of liquid media, microbes grow very diffusely. It will not be producing discrete colonies. So identification of microorganisms from the liquid media is not an easy task. Also, if you want to get the pure culture of the organism from the liquid media, you have to first inoculate it into the liquid media and incubate it at 37 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. Then you have to subculture it into the solid media, then only you will be getting the pure culture. So the disadvantages of the liquid media is that the identification of microorganisms grown in liquid media is not easy, and the pure culture isolation from the liquid media also not an easy task. But the liquid media has got many advantages. They are widely used for bulk culture preparation of microorganisms for antigen and vaccine production. And also, if we have to test large samples like blood, water, etc., the liquid media is the best option. Most widely used liquid media is nutrient broth. So for cultivating microorganisms, liquid media is widely used in the laboratory. In liquid media, microorganisms show different patterns of growth, and we can classify that growth patterns. So in the liquid media, if the organism is growing uniformly, it will make the media into a turbid texture. So such growth is called the turbid growth. Sometimes the organisms will be forming small flocules, and that type of growth is called flocculent. If it is forming a layer of growth, the media below will be clear and it will be forming a layer of growth on the top region, that is called pellicle. And if the organisms are settling to the bottom and the upper region of the media is clear, then it is known as sedimentation. So these are the different patterns of growth that is shown by microorganisms in liquid media. Now coming to the next group of media known as solid media. Solid media compared to liquid media, it is solid in its consistency. The major difference of the solid media from the liquid media is that it contains a solidifying agent known as agar. The first person to experiment with the solid media was the famous scientist Robert Koch. Robert Koch first used cooked cut potatoes as the solid media, but it was not successful. So later he experimented with a number of other substances. He used gelatin as the solidifying media, but the problem was that the gelatin liquefies at 24 degrees Celsius. But usually we know when we have to cultivate the microorganism, most of the mesophilic ones will be growing at 37 degrees Celsius. So this media cannot be incubated at a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius because it will get liquefied. Also, proteolytic bacteria will digest this media, so such organisms cannot be cultivated there. That means it was not a success trial. Then Frohese was the person who suggested Robert Koch to use agar as the solidifying agent. Frohese was wife of one of the colleagues or co-workers of Robert Koch in his laboratory. She had seen her mother using agar for preparing jellies. So thereafter, agar became a universal agent in most of the in all the solid media. So solid media, we said it will be producing discrete colonies. They are useful in the identification of organism. They are useful in pure culture isolation. So solid media are widely used than the liquid media. So the advantages of solid media is that we already said in on solid media the organisms will be producing discrete colonies. So by observing the colony morphology, is easy to identify the organism. Colony morphology is a feature that we look for identification of a particular organism. And on solid media, unlike in the liquid media, the organism will be exhibiting certain characteristics like pigmentation, hemolysis, etc., which is also useful in the identification of organism. For example, Serratia will be producing pink colonies on the solid media. Pseudomonas will be producing light green colonies on the solid media. So from the color of the colony itself, we'll get some clue about the organism. And as the organisms are producing clones or the colonies on the solid media, you can easily isolate the pure culture of the organism. So the advantages of the culture solid media compared to the liquid media is that it is very easy to isolate the organisms and it is very easy to identify the organism. So most widely used solid media is nutrient agar. We already said the most widely used liquid media is nutrient broth. So nutrient broth and nutrient agar are the most common media that we use in microbiology. They are having the same composition. The only difference is that the nutrient agar contains the solidifying agent agar, which is absent in the nutrient broth. So here is the composition of nutrient agar and nutrient broth. We can see both the media is containing some 90% common components like peptone, yeast extract or beef extract, sodium chloride, distilled water, and the pH is usually maintained at 7 plus or minus 0.2 because most of the bacteria prefer neutral or slightly alkaline environment for their growth. And here the difference is that the agar is absent in nutrient broth, whereas it is present in nutrient agar. In nutrient agar, usually 2%, that is 20 gram, is used for the preparation of 1000 ml nutrient agar. So we can see peptone, yeast extract or beef extract, sodium chloride, distilled water, etc. are the main components of the culture media, and agar is present in nutrient agar, which is absent in nutrient broth. Now we will see what is the function of each component in the nutrient media. So coming to agar. Agar is also known as agar-agar. It is a universally used solidifying agent in the preparation of solid media. Agar is extracted from the seaweeds or the red weeds, marine algae of the species Gelidium, mainly from Gelidium corneum. Agar is long chain polysaccharides with varying amounts of inorganic salts and small quantities of protein like substances. It is a sulfated polymer composed mainly of D-galactose, 3,6-anhydro L-galactose, and D-glucuronic acid. Commercially available agar is sulfuric acid esters of linear galactan. It is insoluble in cold water and soluble in hot water. So we said agar is a universal agent in solid media. It has got many unique properties. That is why it has become a universal agent in solid media. We will see the unique properties of agar. Usually agar is insoluble in cold water and it is soluble in hot water. And agar has no nutritive value, so microbes will not degrade it as it grows in the media. We already said in the case of gelatin, when the proteolytic bacteria grow on gelatin, it will digest as it is a proteolytic material. But here agar has no nutritive value, so the growth of microorganism will not affect the texture of the media. Then the most unique property of agar is that it melts at 90 degrees Celsius and it sets at 45 degrees Celsius. It can be cooled down to a bearable temperature to our hands. Once it is set, it will not get melted until the media reaches a temperature of 90 degrees Celsius. That means you can incubate the organism over a wide range of temperature, which is very useful in the cultivation of microorganisms under laboratory conditions. Then the solid media with the agar can be, as I already said, incubated at a wide range of temperature depending on the type of the organism we are cultivating. Usually for the preparation of solid media, 2% of agar is used, and agar is commercially available as dehydrated powder or as the long shreds. Peptone is another universal agent used in solid and liquid media. It is a complex mixture of partially digested proteins resulting from the digestion of proteinaceous materials like meat, casein, and gelatin. Digestion of these materials can be done either by acid or with the enzymes. As the hydrolysis proceeds, large colloidal protein molecules are broken up into a series of smaller fragments like proteoses, peptones, polypeptides, and amino acids, respectively. Generally, we call it as peptone, but actual constituents of peptone include proteoses, polypeptides, amino acids, a variety of inorganic salts like phosphate, potassium, magnesium, and accessory growth factors like riboflavin. Unlike agar, peptone has nutritive value. It is the main source of organic nitrogen and contain vitamins and carbohydrates based on the material digested. Commercially, different brands of peptone are available. Different brands differ in their composition and the growth promoting characteristics. So that was about peptones, one of the universal agents used in solid and liquid media. Coming to the other components of bacterial media, beef extract and yeast extract. Beef extract is the aqueous extract of lean beef tissue concentrated into a paste like form, and it has nutritive value and consists of water soluble substances of animal tissue which include carbohydrate, organic nitrogen compounds, water soluble vitamins, and salts. Like beef extract, yeast extract is also used. It is again the aqueous extract of yeast cells available commercially in the powder form. It is also nutritious with a rich amount of B vitamins, and its cell wall is rich in carbohydrate, so it is considered as a good source for carbon compounds and also for organic nitrogen. So next component in the solid and liquid media is sodium chloride. Actually, sodium chloride is not required for the bacterial growth. But the purpose of adding sodium chloride into the media is that it is to maintain the salt concentration of the media similar to that of the salt concentration inside the cytoplasm of the cells. If the cells are added to a media having different salt concentration, the osmosis may take place, that is, the water influx or the outflow from the cell may take place, which will lead to osmolysis or shrinking of the cells. So the purpose of adding sodium chloride is to avoid such osmotic reactions. Also, in some media, enriched media, like blood agar, we will be adding the blood cells to as the additional component of that media. Similarly, when these blood cells are added to a media having low osmotic pressure, the hemolysis may take place. So in order to avoid that, the sodium chloride is helpful. So the purpose of sodium chloride is to maintain a salt concentration that is suitable for the microorganisms, and also that will be it will be useful when we add the components like blood or other cells into the media. Coming to the next component in the culture media, that is distilled water. We all know that water is necessary for the existence of living organisms. Usually, distilled water is used for the preparation of culture media because it is having a definite composition. We will not make use of tap water for the media preparation because calcium and magnesium is present in the tap water. It will react with phosphates that is present in peptones, beef extract, and other ingredients of the culture media, and it will produce insoluble phosphates. And these insoluble phosphates may not form in cold condition, but during sterilization, such media will throw down considerable precipitate which is not desirable, and it will also affect the consistency of the media. So let me summarize. We said the media is used to cultivate the microorganisms under laboratory conditions. We can classify media on the basis of several parameters, and here we discuss about the media that is divided on the basis of their consistency. We said based on the consistency we can divide the media into solid media, liquid media, and semi-solid media. Then we said Then we said the most common media used in microbiology are nutrient agar and nutrient broth. They are having the same composition. The only difference is that the nutrient agar is having an additional component, that is agar. And the other components of the media include peptone, beef extract or yeast extract, sodium chloride, and distilled water. So with that, I am winding up. See you soon with another topic. Thanks for watching. Till goodbye.